Hello everyone, I welcome all of you in physics classes. This session is for class 10 and we have already started chapter 1, that is electricity. In that chapter 1 we have studied up to the topic potential difference or voltage. Okay. Now here, as I told you in the last session, that today we will start the very important topic of this chapter, that is also known as the heart of this chapter, Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that actually it is the relationship between the potential difference and the electric current. Through any wire, whenever the electric current flows, then the electric current and the potential difference across the terminals of that wire or that conductor, this relationship is only given by the ohm. And according to the Ohm's law, at constant temperature, the potential difference across the terminals of a conductor is always directly proportional to the current flowing through it. Okay? That means V is directly proportional to I. That means voltage is directly proportional to the electric current flowing through a conductor. If I remove the sign of proportionality, obviously there will be a constant here, and here that constant is R. Here what is R? R is a constant. And this constant is known as resistance of the conductor. R is known as resistance of the conductor. So what is Ohm's law? In some of the book it is also be written as I proportional to V. That means the current flowing through a conductor is always directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends. Okay, so we may also write this I proportional to V or V proportional to I. Then according to, as we all know, whenever we remove the sign of proportionality, we will get a constant here, and here what is R? R is a constant, which is also known as resistance of a conductor. Now more about this resistance, if we want to know, then separately this topic we will study. What is resistance? What is resistance? Do you know about friction? What friction is? Friction is that opposite force which try to oppose your motion, which opposes your motion. Similarly, in case of electricity, the resistance is also just like this. What is resistance? Resistance is the property of a conductor by virtue of which it opposes the flow of current in it. Okay? Resistance is the property of a conductor. It's actually the property of the conductor only, due to which it opposes the current through it. Okay? From here only, if I write the formula, mathematically what is the formula of resistance? That is R is equals to V upon I. R is equals to V upon I. That means this relation shows here current is always inversely proportional to the resistance. So this is the mathematical formula of the resistance, and what is the definition? It is the property of a conductor due to which it opposes the flow of current through it. Okay? So whatever be the factor which opposes the flow of current in a wire, that property is only known as resistance. The SI unit in which we measure resistance is ohm. Okay? It is a Greek letter which represents actually omega, but we pronounce it ohm only. So what is the SI unit of resistance? Ohm. Whatever be the value of the resistance of any conductor of any wire we write always in ohm. 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 20 ohm, whatever it is. Okay? So what is this Ohm's law? Ohm's law means, this law states that at constant temperature, that line must be included in that, at constant temperature, the voltage across the terminals of a conductor or any wire is always directly proportional to the current flowing through it. Okay, There was a scientist, George Simon Ohm, who has discovered this law. That's why this law is also known as the Ohm's law. Now we can see here, if V is directly proportional to I, that means if I draw the VI characteristic of Ohm's law, if I want to draw what is the graph between the electric current and the potential difference for a conductor, then that graph must be a straight line. It's very simple, common sense it is. If V is directly proportional to I, means as we increase the value of V, similarly the value of current will also increase. So what does it show? It shows that the graph between I and V, the graph between V and I must be a straight line, a constant value. See what V upon I represents here? It a constant value, no? Or if I draw I upon V, that also will represent a constant value. So this constant means uniform. So this straight line graph represents a constant value. So this is all about the Ohm's law, and I have also told you what is the resistance. Resistance of a conductor, it is a property due to which it opposes the flow of current in it. That is called the resistance. Okay. Now the next topic is about this resistance only. We must know there are how many factors which depends or which affects the resistance of a conductor. As I have told you that resistance is a property of the conductor only. So there are how many factors? What are these factors which actually affects the resistance of it? Okay. So there are 4 factors. How many factors? 4. Number 1. The first, which is very important factor, is resistance is actually depend on length of the conductor. What is a very important factor which affects the resistance? That is length. And how it affects? Resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. As we increase the length, the resistance will also increase. As we decrease the length, resistance will also decrease. So what is the relationship between resistance and the length of the conductor? They are directly proportional to each other. Is that clear? Now the second factor. Area of the conductor. Resistance of a conductor also depends on area of cross section of the conductor. And how it depends? It depends inversely proportional. That means resistance of a conductor will be high of a thin wire. And if there is a thick wire, its resistance becomes low. So how it depends on the area of the conductor? Resistance is always inversely proportional to the area. Less area, more the resistance. More area, less the resistance. Resistance always inversely proportional to the area of cross section of the wire or conductor. Number 3 is temperature of the conductor. No doubt, resistance of a conductor also depends its temperature, and it behaves directly relationship. It behaves the direct relationship between the resistance and the temperature. As the resistance increases, as the temperature increases, the resistance of the conductor will also increases. Or we can also say that if the resistance of the conductor is high, that means it will also give the high amount of heat, temperature. So resistance is directly proportional to the temperature of the conductor. And the 4th is very important, which is material of the conductor. Number 4th is material of the conductor. No doubt, the resistance of a wire, the resistance of a conductor also depends on the material of the conductor. As we all know that silver is the very good, or we can also say the best conductor of electricity. So there are different materials, there are different metals on which the resistance depends its material. So we can also say that for different material of the conductor, resistance of that material will also be different. So resistance also depends on material of the conductor. So we have studied here 4 factors on which the resistance of a conductor depends here. What is first? Resistance is directly proportional to the length. Number 2, resistance is inversely proportional to the area. Number 3, resistance directly proportional to the temperature. And number 4, resistance depends on the material of the conductor. Okay. Maybe some of you may have the doubt regarding the conductors and the insulators. So let me explain you this very small topic also, which is related to the electricity. What do you mean by the conductors or insulators? An object either be a conductor or insulator. Conductor which conducts electricity, or insulator which do not conduct the electricity. How, on the basis of their chemical composition, we come to know that whether an object is a conductor or it is an insulator. And remember that definition, not first time you are studying here. You know what is the basic definition of the conductors or insulators. A substance, yes, a substance which have the free electrons in it, a substance which have the free electrons in it, known as conductors. Yes, what are the free electrons? The electrons which present in the outermost orbit of an atom, which are least connected with the nucleus. That means the force between the nucleus and that electron is least. We have studied, no? Same charges repel while opposite charges attract. So what is the charge on nucleus? Positive. What is the charge on electron revolving in the orbits? Negative. So as the electron will move away from the nucleus, the electron will experience the less force with the nucleus. Isn't it so? So what is the force experienced by the electron which is revolving in the outermost orbit of an atom? Obviously it is least. So that electron is considered as the free electron. Okay. Whenever you can understand this in the chemistry also. If we are doing the electronic configuration, then in case of electronic configuration, whenever we are getting the electron revolving in the outermost orbit, there are number of orbits when we found, and in that number of orbits, whatever be the electron present in the outermost orbit, which electron is not directly or not very much connected with the nucleus, easily that electron can be taken out for the conduction. Those electrons are only called the free electrons, and the materials or the substances which have these free electrons known as conductors. And just opposite of it, the material which do not have these free electrons, these are called the insulators. So remember that the concept of conductors and the insulators. Here, for in case of electricity, we are talking about the conductors only. Okay. So what are the conductors? Like copper, iron, silver, aluminium, these all are conductors. Wood, rubber, plastic, these all are insulators. So today we have studied about the Ohm's law as well as the resistance and the factors affecting the resistance of the conductor. So revise these topics, go through these topics. The very important topic today I have taught you. Prepare your notes along with the notes what I am providing to you in the groups. Go through the NCERT books also. Read out properly the definition as well as the statements given in the NCERT book related to the relevant topic here. Okay. For that, if you have any doubt, any difficulty, please feel free to ask me in the group as well as in the comment box. Okay. So for today it is sufficient. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you very much.